Hello, YouTube. This is Cole with Meet the Bible Live. Let me see if I'm live. If I'm actually live, and it says I am for 5 seconds. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I'm gonna start my intro because that's the way you're supposed to start a YouTube channel. Meet the Bible Live. Today we're talking about abortion is the #1 killer in America, part 2. And we're back. I'm working on that timing of it here to see what I've got. Let's look at the chat. Who's here? Miss Sonia, moderator. Welcome everyone. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Hand of seeds. You hear about the chief that died, the chef that died. Okay. Noah Brown, appreciate you coming in. Hey, chat. Can't wait for the show. Ginger, VLH, thank you, Ginger, for joining us. This is going to be epic. Oh, that was no. Hello, Ginger. The American. Always happy to see you, The American. Appreciate it. Miss Sonia saying hello, and Hando is short for hand of seed, I guess. Lord, I've put a lot of work into this. Let me center myself. I've put a lot of work into this. Let me go big screen just for the test of things. Is that powerful? Now I'm supposed to move over here. Is that powerful? What? Miss Sonia's been messing with this here lately, haven't you? And there's some growing pains with this. There's some growing pains. I'm going to go back to the split screen, and I got to move over, and I'm kind of doing it on purpose. I've got several videos tonight. I kind of got 9. I don't know if we'll get to all of them. Short videos on a follow-up. One of them was a warning, but the ones who finally made the cut, I put some time into this show, people. I put some time into this. It's becoming a chunk of work. Welcome, YouTube. Oh, Noah one. Number 1. Thank you, Noah Brown. I expect more to be coming in as the hour goes by, but I don't want to drag my feet on this. I tell you, I unplanned. That's what we're talking about. I sent out a video earlier today. I saw, wasn't much earlier, was it? I don't have 24 hours in a day. Okay, I've got like 20, and that video should have gone out yesterday. I went to a movie. I go to a movie. It was 8 or 10 years since I've attended a movie, and I sat through that. And Lord, they've made huge improvements on the chair, and there's leg room. I thought it was in a handicap spot because there was so much leg room. I'm tall. I got long legs, and I thought that was cool. I did, as I mentioned, for those who saw, in case you don't see my, not trailer, but in case you don't see the pre-run for this here, I don't watch movies. Went to unplanned. The key person is Abby Johnson. It was a book she wrote, and they turned it into a movie. And I think it was, I didn't read the book, but I seen the movie, and boy, it's excellent. If we back up, and I'm sure all of you have watched all of my videos. Let me look what's going on here. There we go. My head was cut off in my other monitor. Might be a little closer to the camera. So she worked for if you don't know the story, she worked for Planned Parenthood for 6 or 8 years or something. She was the director. She was up there, saw an abortion, and it's pretty graphic in the movie. It's all stemmed on that kind of point there. I'm not going to give out details. Not going to give out the answers here. Hit the like. Thank you, son. Y'all hit the like now. Listen, if you're on Team Jesus, hit the like. And I'll say this, and I say it often, if you're on Team Satan and you don't believe in Jesus and you don't want to support us, by all means, support your God by putting thumbs down. But if you're Team Jesus, thumbs up. last week, a couple of ladies, Amanda, where's she at tonight? Didn't like the graphics of it. Gosh, this is rough business. So I don't know, a few weeks ago, I was at the Cove in North Carolina, Billy Graham's place, and sitting in a prayer room, and I've been feeling a change from prison. I'm in prison. I'm a prison and jail minister. I've been feeling a name, and I don't want to repeat myself, but I felt this draw towards the abortion battle, the abortion war, and it feels like war to me. Let me tell you, I feel it. Volume and everything okay, guys? Everything working so far? This is a lot of moving parts. I'll be amazed if I make it through this show without a glitch. So I felt God putting on this abortion battle on me, and I got back and I linked up with my good friend Linda. I hope she's watching. If Linda, you're in there, say hello. And she knew a young guy. She's got a friend who has a son who's fighting the battle, and he contacted me and linked me up with some of the local abortion battlegrounds. Now, I say that with loving and compassion and care. We're not there throwing stones at these young ladies and the male drivers, escorts, fathers, husband, boyfriends. I've been 8 times now. We're there to spread the word of God, the gospel, the saving grace of Jesus Christ, bring people to the saving grace of Jesus Christ, and to talk about the murder of these babies. If no one was going in there for killing the baby, we'd talk about Jesus. And I encourage you to find a place near you and see if you're into this. It's a little bit ominous standing outside and knowing that a woman cannot drive by herself. She can't drive away. She's got to have, I guess, taxis come and others. So you see them come in, and a couple hours later they leave. Lord, that is surreal. They just killed a human being. And I saw one guy out this morning. He's on his phone. He's texting and calling a buddy of mine while his female half, or I suspect, is in there killing a baby. It feels like war, guys. It feels like war. But then I saw witnesses. I saw people rolling down their window. Didn't see that Friday when I was there, but people rolling down the window. Dan, there it's working. Hey, Cole. Hello, Dan. Don. Oh, Don. Yeah, appreciate it, Don. Appreciate you toning in. He thought there was another class. I had another class tonight because I have a lot of classes. I attend classes. I teach classes. I got like 7 YouTube channels. Here I'm 9 minutes into this, and I haven't got into video 1 yet. Thanks, Sonia, saying hello to Don. So I'm led towards this ministry. I'm into it. I purchased the website. I have the website, abortionzero.org. So please go to abortionzero.org and I don't know, visit me and stuff. And they're going to be our new sponsor. Right now we're being sponsored by Gun 101, 101.com. Let me go to my Fair Use Act, okay? Watch this, read this carefully. Everybody get that? That's fair use, because we've got to watch this copyright stuff with some of the. I got a strike on music last time, and it's not really a strike. It's just that they've got copyright and they get the rights to any ads. Which I don't have ads. I don't put ads. It's teaching the word of God. And I don't know if someone sees an ad, let me know. I can take the music off, but. If you ever see an ad on my channel, let me know. Let's go to video 1. Video 1 is abortion. I don't know. I wrote it down wrong. Let's send this.
Let's talk numbers for a second. 1 abortion happens every 30 seconds. That means within the time frame of this video, at least 2 lives have been terminated. Since Roe v. Wade was legalized, a staggering 60 million babies have been aborted. Many times we're led to believe that abortions happen to spare the life of the mother or child. However, only 4% of abortions are for reasons of the mother's physical health. Only 3% are for the baby's health reasons, and less than 0.5% of abortions are due to rape. This means that 92.5% of abortions are due to convenience. Let's put that into perspective. Of the 60 million babies aborted since the legalization of Roe v. Wade, 55,500,000 have been out of convenience. To break that down further, that would be equal to 2,681 babies per day whose lives are considered not worth living. These numbers are shocking, and this must end. Use your voice to advocate for the 60 million who never had a chance to speak.
No federal funds pay for abortion services at Planned Parenthood.
That's exactly right. Federal funding doesn't go to abortion services at Planned Parenthood.
Federal funding, as you probably know,
Yes.
does not pay for abortion services.
Many people hear this and think that none of our taxpayer dollars pay for abortions, but nothing could be further from the truth. Planned Parenthood is America's largest abortion chain, committing over 320,000 abortions per year, 887 abortions per day. And yet every year, Planned Parenthood gets over $500 million of our taxpayer dollars from state and federal governments, which averages to over $1.5 million per day. In an attempt to defend themselves, Planned Parenthood repeats over and over again their talking point that according to the Hyde Amendment, federal taxpayer dollars cannot pay for abortions in most cases. But keep in mind that the Hyde Amendment only covers federal funding of abortion, not state funding of abortion. 17 states, covering about 40% of the American population, use taxpayer dollars to pay for abortions through programs such as Medicaid. When you call a Planned Parenthood in one of these states, you hear something like this.
You sound like actually a perfect candidate for Medicaid, and they do cover terminations in full.
So a portion of Planned Parenthood's $500 million in government revenue comes directly from state taxpayer-funded abortions. But federal taxpayer dollars also pay for abortions. Under the federal program Title X, your federal taxpayer dollars directly pay for potentially abortion-causing emergency contraception such as Plan B and the morning after pill. Additionally, the Hyde Amendment is insufficient to stop federal funding from paying for Planned Parenthood's abortion business because money is fungible. The concept of fungibility works like this. Let's say 16-year-old Stacy wants to buy a big screen TV that costs $1,000. Stacy has $1,000, but she needs to spend $500 to fix her car. Her mom comes along and says, "I'll give you $500 to fix the car, but it is only for the car. No way am I giving you money to buy a TV. In fact, I'm only going to reimburse you after you pay to get the car fixed." Obviously, because of Mom, Stacy now has enough money to fix her car and buy the TV. Fungibility means that even though Mom restricted her money from directly paying for the TV, she still helped Stacy pay for it by freeing up Stacy's other money. The same is true for Planned Parenthood. They do things like abortions, birth control, STD testing and treatment, and marketing and lobbying, and they fund these operations with hundreds of millions of dollars in income and donations. So when the government comes along and gives Planned Parenthood hundreds of millions of our taxpayer dollars a year, even though it is technically restricted, it frees up plenty of that income and donation money to pay for their abortion operations, including the procedures, facilities, staffing, building costs, and other abortion-related overhead expenses. As former Planned Parenthood manager Sue Thayer says, it's all one big pot.
You know, you picture one big pot, and all the money goes into the pot because there weren't separate abortion facilities. I mean, it was a contraceptive clinic with an abortion facility in it. And there's no possible way to keep that money separate.
To use specific examples, when Planned Parenthood receives taxpayer money through Title X, that money can pay for the same receptionists and clinicians that assist with the abortion and the same facilities at which abortions are committed. In fact, call up a taxpayer-funded Planned Parenthood facility asking for an abortion, and this is what you get.
We tell you you're pregnant, and we also at Planned Parenthood to do the abortions.
We only offer like pregnancy tests and then abortion care if that's what you wanted to go with.
And it'd be $715. We do offer limited financial assistance. It is based on your household size and income.
We do abortion here. But like with the 3 options, I guess I could do an abortion in the clinic. With the other 2 options, I would have to go outside of Planned Parenthood. Right. Yep.
So when taxpayer money does fund abortion facilitators and does fund abortion facilities, how can anyone make the claim that federal taxpayer money does not fund abortions? If we take a look at these numbers over time, we can see that as government funding has increased, so have Planned Parenthood's abortions. Especially in the last 15 years, notice how the slopes of the graphs have a very similar shape. Planned Parenthood says that defunding them will deprive many people from basic health care. But that's completely up to Planned Parenthood. Understand, Planned Parenthood always has the option of keeping their $500 million in taxpayer money if they shut down their abortion business. But Planned Parenthood has refused this option.
President Trump says funding will flow in full if Planned Parenthood just agrees to stop performing abortions. Would you ever?
Absolutely not.
Even though Planned Parenthood says abortion is a small part of what they do, they give it such high priority that they are willing to stop giving other patients health care. This is why there is a massive and increasing demand from the American people to defund Planned Parenthood.
In fact, I hear that phrase so much, it sounds like defund Planned Parenthood is the new name of the organization.
So do what is best for healthcare and tell Congress and the President to defund Planned Parenthood. Go to liveaction.org/abortion corporation to sign the petition to defund Planned Parenthood. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Okay, Senator, I didn't hit the, if I have the video on and my microphone on, the echo from the video goes through the microphone, and that's earlier the first time or two we did this, and that's where you had the looping happen. So in order to not be loopy, I have to kill my microphone. So, Dale come on board. Thank you, Dale. So someone made this point they couldn't hear because I didn't push the button. A couple screw-ups. It'll take time to get this. And I've seen this now that I've been more, Dale says, hello, Sonia. This is a good thing you guys are doing. Thank you. God bless. A live feed. Well, some challenges, Dale. But, and I'm also up in my game here, and I got to compete with Miss Sonia because we started this thing back at Christmas, and who can get the most thumbs up, I think, 12 days, as I recall, before Christmas. And that put me into this electronic stage. Yeah, no idea what, sorry about that. I had my volume off. I don't know why that happened. So sorry about that. But that's, that's the growing pains of live. I've got my phone on because, my moderators are supposed to text me in case something's wrong. It's a little bit quicker because there's a 30-second lag time here. But I don't need calls unless, I don't need calls at all. I thought I had that off. So, and I've heard this argument that federal funds do not fund abortions. Federals do not. As you just saw in this here, they do. It just, when I'm from Michigan, I remember when Michigan backdoored, in North Carolina as well, the lottery system. I don't want to go too deep in that. In the lottery, the educational lottery, our commercials end with, addiction hotline, gambling addiction hotline. Well, did it actually go for funding? Well, I suppose dollar for dollar it did, but then they're not getting twice as much money every year. So that money went to more of a social budget, and they're getting basically the same. Only now we have this huge gambling problem. Watch this video here. This is interesting. Young people doing testimony on this. And again, what I'm doing is just looking at this information and passing it down to you all live. I appreciate every one of you in the room here, in the chat. Appreciate the comments. But in the future, other people will come and watch this on the replay. Watch this short video here, will you please?
This investigation of Planned Parenthood is based on false premises, one after another after another. It's time to stop wasting time, get on with meaningful work, and stop picking on women and trying to take their choice away. I yield back the balance of my time.
The time of the gentleman has expired. We welcome our distinguished witnesses today. Do you and each of you swear that the testimony that you are about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? And I'll now begin by introducing today's witnesses. The first witness is Dr. Anthony Levatino. Dr. Levatino is a board-certified obstetrician gynecologist. Over the course of his career, Dr. Levatino has practiced obstetrics and gynecology in both private and university settings, including as an associate professor of OBGYN at the Albany Medical College. And Dr. Levatino, we'll begin with you. Welcome.
Thank you, Chairman and members of the committee. I only have 5 minutes, so I'm going to get right to it. Second trimester D&E abortions performed between roughly 14 and 24 weeks of gestation. Your patient today is 17 years old. She's 22 weeks pregnant. Her baby is the length of your hand plus a couple of inches. And she's been feeling her baby kick for the last several weeks, but she's asleep on an operating room table. You walk into that operating room scrubbed and gowned, and after removing laminaria, you introduce a suction catheter into the uterus. This is a 14 French suction catheter. If she were 12 weeks pregnant or less, basically the width of your hand or smaller, you could basically do the entire procedure with this. But babies this big don't fit through catheters this size. After suctioning the amniotic fluid out from around the baby, you introduce an instrument called a Sofer clamp. It's about 13 inches long. It's made of stainless steel. The business end of this clamp is about 2.5 inches long and 1/2 inch wide. There are rows of sharp teeth. This is a grasping instrument. When it gets a hold of something, it does not let go. A D&E procedure is a blind abortion, so picture yourself introducing this and grabbing anything you can blindly and pull, and I do mean hard, and out pops a leg about that big, which you put down on the table next to you. Reach in again, pull out an arm about the same length, which you put down on the table next to you, and use this instrument again and again to tear out the spine, the intestines, the heart and lungs. Head on the baby that size is about the size of a large plum. Can't see it, but you pretty good idea you've got it if you've got your instrument around something and your fingers are spread about as far as they go. You know you did it right if you crush down on the instrument and white material runs out of the cervix. That was the baby's brains. Then you could pull out skull pieces. And you have a day like I had a lot of times, sometimes a little face comes back and stares back at you. Congratulations, you just successfully performed a second trimester D&E abortion. You just affirmed her right to choose.
One more question, Dr. Levatino. Why did you end your practice of doing abortions?
I did over 1,200 abortions over a 4-year period in private practice, not counting the ones that I did during my training. I met my wife during my first year of training at Albany Medical Center. We got married about a year later and found that we had an infertility problem. After years of failed infertility treatment and several years trying to adopt a child, we were blessed with adopting a little girl that we named Heather in August of 1978. As sometimes happens in those situations, my wife got pregnant the very next month, and we had 2 children 10 months apart. 2 months short of my daughter Heather's 6th birthday, she was killed in an auto accident and literally died in her arms in the back of an ambulance. Anyone who has children might think they have some idea of what that feels like, but unless you've been through it yourself, you have no idea whatsoever. I know people find it hard to believe, but what do you do after disaster? You bury your child and then you go back to your life. And I don't remember exactly how long it was after my daughter died that I showed up at Albany Medical Center OR number 9 to perform my first second trimester D&E abortion. I wasn't thinking of it as anything special. This was routine to me. But I reached in, literally pulled out an arm or leg and got sick. You know, earlier on I described stacking up body parts on the side of the table. It's not to, gross people out, to use a simple term. When you do an abortion, you need to keep inventory. You have to make sure you get 2 arms and 2 legs and all the pieces. If you don't, your patient's going to come back infected, bleeding, or dead. So I soldiered on and finished that abortion. And I know it sounds, as I said, hard for people to believe, but I'm telling you straight up my experience. You know, after over 1,200 abortions, first and second trimester up to 24 weeks and all the rest of it, and being very dedicated to it, for the first time in my life, I really looked at that pile of body parts on the side of the table. And I didn't see her wonderful right to choose, and I didn't see all the money I just made. All I could see was somebody's son or daughter. And I stopped doing late-term abortions after that, and several months later stopped doing all abortions.
There's still a question. Thank you.
Okay. I thought that was the lady, but she's next. That was the doctor. And he makes a very good case in point. My microphone's on. You guys have a good screen here. Just for practice, let me go to full. Let's look at the chat. Dale, hi Dale. Okay, you guys need to be, this is an interactive, the reason we have all this set up is for an interactive Bible study. This is Monkey Mom, good to see you. God bless. Thank you for joining us, Monkey Mom. The reason we're doing it like this is an interactive Bible study. Pretend that you're sitting in my living room. However many, I don't know how many people there are. I don't know how many people are in chat. And you're sitting in the living room, and one of the people is talking. That would be the videos or me. And then when they're done, raise your hand. Oh, I have a question on something, or an answer, or elaborate. I'm a chair for the right to life for Adam. This is Monkey Mom. I repeat that because not everybody can see the video. So I try to repeat the chats like you would in a classroom. Question was A, B, C, D. Monkey Mom, abortion is murder. And I got to go there. And I didn't really look at that way for a long time. And it took me a long time to mature. And I think... And I'll leave a link here. A lot of these links I'm going to leave, a lot of these videos, all of them, I'm going to leave into the link below that you guys can go and refer somebody. And this doctor just talking about how it's really done. I think it's murder, and I don't think there's any way around it. And if we say, well, it's legal. Well, slavery was legal. Who's going to take care of them? Well, okay, but we don't kill people because they're poor. Less than 25% do the rape, or 2%, less than 2%. And it's dangerous territory, but because the father committed a crime, you're going to kill the child. It's like shooting somebody else who you got robbed, and you shoot someone else. I dare. But right now we got to, and same with incest. So right now we have to pick our battles. And right now, I believe it's wrong. The Bible makes it clear it's wrong. The sixth commandment, thou shalt not do murder, premeditated lying in wait murder. That's murder, people. And when you see them at the clinics, like I have been lately, and you see them going in there, they know it's wrong. They know it. They know it's a violation. God's going to judge them. Well, ask for forgiveness. Yeah, but we can't. Christians aren't sinless, but we sin less. We can't be blatantly repeating Acts 2:38. Repent, turn from your ways. Ask forgiveness, be baptized in the Holy Spirit. Monkey Mom, late-term abortion, there's no reason ever. I don't think there's any reason for, other than maybe the life of the mother. Well, not maybe. The life of the mother, we shouldn't be killing babies. And I'm going to get thumbs down. As Sonia mentioned, thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up, because I'm going to get thumbs down, because people, it's a sensitive subject. And I'm just putting the laundry out. Is what I'm doing. I'm airing the dirty laundry for people to see on this channel. And next week, as a young lady, I plan to have a debate on the pre-tribulation rapture, and I hope to have her side by side on the screens. And I'm going to be using a Zoom. I tried Skype. If you're a web person and you know how to do it with Skype, I think I'd prefer it. But so we'll be doing a debate. She'll get 10 minutes. I'll get 5 minutes to rebut. She'll get 10. She'll get 5 minutes to rebut. And then this open forum right now where I'm encouraging you people to comment, because I got it right there where you can see it. Monkey Mom, Jesus said in the last days, what look upon us and be good, seen as evil. Good will be bad and bad will be good. Don, after being desensitized by so many other movies with violence and war heroes, I was slightly shocked. No, when I was going to say when I was a kid, but before my time, reruns on Brady Bunch. And the Brady Bunch, I forget how many, there was 4 boys and 4 girls or whatever it was, 2 different marriages. The girls in there curling their hair. They never showed a commode. Never showed the commode. And now look where we're at. Don, until the next day before Bible study, I began to cry concerning the women didn't know. They don't know. A lot of them just don't know. They certainly don't know how this child is killed. And I had one where the baby's getting sucked out, but I didn't play it because we might have a part 3. So that was video 3. Let's go to 4. It's a short one.
I'm here to voice my opposition for Senate Bill 152 Sub A. But more than that, I'm here to encourage you, our lawmakers, to boldly protect life.
I'm no longer afraid to speak up for life.
As a woman, as a minority, I can no longer sit on the sidelines, and I can no longer be silent.
And today, I wish to stand up for those in the womb who have no voice.
Why is it that when a child is wanted, their death is mourned? Yet when a child is not wanted, their life no longer has value.
We will classify the baby in the womb as a clump of cells, but the minute that it exits the womb, all of a sudden it has a DNA, a heartbeat.
We're advocating their killing for the sake of economic comfort and cultural security.
It doesn't seem like this is representing the Rhode Island people. It seems like a calculated attack on life.
Life is at the core of who we are, and freedom is the very reason we fight.
I do pray that you guys choose life.
This isn't about politics, and this isn't about religion. This is about what kind of moral value you carry.
And I would just like to add that I am a woman and this is not my right.
It is not my body, it is not my choice. We can no longer dehumanize our fellow humans in the womb.
Do not despise small beginnings at conception, because the ending of that story could have everlasting impacts.
But I wonder if future generations will ask, how did the 21st century Americans allow this to happen and not see the danger that it caused?
People will look back on us that way and say, where are the people standing up? And we'll say, well, gee, we were told that we didn't have voices. We were told that we didn't even know morality. As men, we couldn't speak up about our children, about our futures, about who we are leaving in this planet.
So let's make the decision tonight to set life for ourselves and our posterity as the worldwide standard.
I urge you, our lawmakers, to be bold, be a leader, and create laws that protect freedom and the freedom of the littlest humans by protecting life.
I just want to make one quick editorial comment. In the 7 years that I've been on this committee, I don't know that I recall an evening where we've had so many young people come and testify. And irrespective of how we fall on this issue, I just want to say I think the future of Rhode Island is very bright, because we've had some very articulate people, 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, and just keep doing that.
And my speaker, what do you think of that? I'm really glad to see these young people that are stepping up to the plate and fighting the good fight, to the point there's testimony. I've got one tomorrow night. There's an event, like, I'm not testifying, I'm witnessing a person that's testifying and going for, kind of support. Guys, we got to speak up. And I know this is a new battle. Some of you have been fighting this battle. It's new to me. Comments, Dale, would you know of a study course or video that could be shown to high school age students? Well, they submit. These part 1 and part 2. Abortions are the #1 death in America. #1 is abortions. In like a part 1 and part 2, and down the road I'll probably have a part 3 and 4. I don't know. This is a fight I'm going for right now, because I do believe it's a separate entity, death of a human being. I totally believe that in my heart. See the videos clapping on my laptop. I'm hoping you're not hearing that. I like the statement where Don says, I like the statement where we're to be less of sin on purpose, living by the Spirit. Yeah, I think so. I think so. What, I got 24 minutes left here. Let me go to the next video, and I'll peek my head in at the chat and see if anybody's saying anything. Again, interactive Bible study. I sure like it if you guys would go back and forth, and especially with this next week when we're doing this debate. I sure hope you all weigh in on the pre-tribulation rapture theory. I'm trying to be neutral and be totally nice about it and let her make her case, and I'll make mine. Monkey Mom. Mom goes back and pushes baby out. Still gives birth. Baby could have been taken via C-section and adopted. I have no thumbs down. I know it's early, Don. It's early. People are going to thumb down. So if you guys can thumb up. Again, let me say this before we go to the next one. I am pro-choice. And people, what? I am pro-choice. All right, I believe it's a hard sell, but abstain from having sex. B, contraceptive. Okay, choice number 2, contraceptive. 3, adopt the child out. 4, have the child and raise it. Okay, so I'm pro-choice. There's 4 choices there. I also submit, and I say this often now, that an aspirin can prevent most pregnancies. A simple aspirin, right? The young lady, Dawn, in case you don't know, would put the aspirin between her knees and hold the aspirin tight. What's my next video here? We are at 5. I hope you're finding this 5 split. Hope you found this mildly entertaining, people. And like and subscribe and come back and tell your friends. Let's watch this.
Let's talk about one of the most emotionally charged subjects there is, abortion, but in an unemotional way. Also, let's not touch on the question that most preoccupies discussion of the subject, whether abortion should be legal or illegal. The only question here is the moral one. Is ending the life of a human fetus moral? Let's begin with this question. Does the human fetus have any value and any rights? Now, it's a scientific fact that a human fetus is human life. Those who argue that the human fetus has no rights say that a fetus is not a person. But even if you believe that, it doesn't mean the fetus has no intrinsic value or no rights. There are many living beings that are not persons that have both value and rights. Dogs and other animals, for example. And that's moral argument number 1. A living being doesn't have to be a person in order to have intrinsic moral value and rights. When challenged with this argument, people usually change the subject to the rights of the mother, meaning the right of a mother to end her fetus's life under any circumstance for any reason and at any time in her pregnancy. Is that moral? It is only if we believe that the human fetus has no intrinsic worth. But in most cases, nearly everyone believes that the human fetus has essentially infinite worth and an almost absolute right to live. When? When a pregnant woman wants to give birth. Then society and its laws regard the fetus as so valuable that if someone were to kill that fetus, that person could be prosecuted for homicide. Only if a pregnant woman doesn't want to give birth do many people regard the fetus as worthless. Now, does that make sense? It doesn't seem to. Either a human fetus has worth or it doesn't. And this is moral argument number 2. On what moral grounds does the mother alone decide a fetus's worth? We certainly don't do that with regard to a newborn child. It is society, not the mother or the father, that determines whether a newborn child has worth and a right to live. So the question is, why should that be different before the human being is born? Why does one person, a mother, get to determine whether that being has any right to live? People respond by saying that a woman has the right to control her body. Now, that is entirely correct. The problem here, however, is that the fetus is not her body. It is in her body. It is a separate body. And that's moral argument number 3. No one ever asks a pregnant woman, "How's your body?" when asking about the fetus. People ask, "How's the baby?" Moral argument number 4. Virtually everyone agrees that the moment the baby comes out of the womb, killing the baby is murder. But deliberately killing it a few months before birth is considered no more morally problematic than extracting a tooth. How does that make sense? And finally, moral argument number 5. Aren't there instances in which just about everyone, even among those who are pro-choice, would acknowledge that an abortion might not be moral? For example, would it be moral to abort a female fetus solely because the mother prefers boys to girls, as has happened millions of times in China and elsewhere? And one more example. Let's say science develops a method of determining whether a child in the womb is gay or straight. Would it be moral to kill a gay fetus because the mother didn't want a gay child? People may offer practical reasons not to criminalize all abortions. People may differ about when personhood begins and about the morality of abortion after rape or incest. But with regard to the vast majority of abortions, those of healthy women aborting a healthy fetus, let's be clear. Most of these abortions just aren't moral. Good societies can survive people doing immoral things. But a good society cannot survive if it calls immoral things moral. I'm Dennis Prager. To subscribe to our YouTube channel, click here. To help keep our videos free, donate here.
Interesting. Are these interesting? Give me some feedback here, guys. What do we got? Monkey mom, late abortion, mother goes in, has seaweed sticks. I do have that video. I really wanted to show it tonight, but there's not enough time. Seaweed stick. Painfully takes 2 days to kill the baby. It's just injection. I'm thinking about showing that. But we'll take a week off and maybe come back to the subject. And I'm just trying to get the word out. So somebody might see this video and they might change their mind. We might save a life. Fetus, by the way, means young baby. If you go back to the root word, fetus means young baby. Monkey mom goes back and pushes the baby out, still gives birth. I think I saw that one. Monkey mom had an abortion at 16 years old, and women who've had abortions, and many have, are the best testimony. They're the best ones who can discuss with women, especially outside the abortion clinics. If you can get their attention, if you can get there to roll their window down. Like Friday, there was 4 of us men with beard, 4 white guys with beards. Majority at this facility, in fact, both facilities are black babies. I ordered a couple signs today. Black Lives Matter. I'm going to stand outside those clinics flying a Black Lives Matter sign. It's terrible. It's genocide. There are more babies being murdered, black babies, than being born now. 6% of the population, 50% of the abortion, 2,000 babies, black babies killed today. One of those babies have the key to turn water into food or gasoline or something. We are killing brilliant people. It's unfortunate. Monkey mom going through a 4-inch birth canal. I thought it was 6 inches. Doesn't make it life. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. 4 inches, 6 inches. It's not a baby, and then 4 inches, 6 inches later, it is. You can really make these arguments and tear these things apart. Do I have that video? Not today. Dale, that was painful. Will help me in the future discussing. Done a lot of research here, guys. I've done a lot to pick the cherry pick the better videos that make some kind of point. We're down to 14 minutes. Now you're going to get them all in. Monkey mom, when we dehumanize life at the most innocent part of life, how can we expect teens that shoot up schools not dehumanize life? Okay, school shootings aren't a real problem. They make the news, but in 50 years, less than in 1,000 years, less than 50 people, in 50 years, less than 1,000 people died in school shootings. Okay, so if you talk gun deaths in America, I'm a gun guy, we're talking 3 a day, 3 teenagers a day. 2 of them are suicide. Terrible, terrible, cowardice way to handle it, people. You pass your pain on to everybody, to a bunch of people, the rest of their lives. But 1 is either accidental or school shooting or hunting or something. 1 a day, 1 teenage death a day. 1 today, that's terrible. 12 deaths a day from texting and driving. 12 deaths, okay. Today, 4,000 babies were murdered, however. Rough round numbers, 2,000 boys, 2,000 girls. The #1 cause of death. Where are we at here? Video 6. Born Alive. Watch 6 Split. And I'm going to shut up.
Our next guest joins us for reaction and analysis, and she has powerful insight into the Born Alive bill because as a nurse, She claims to have witnessed babies being aborted alive without medical care. Jill Stanek is now the national campaign chair for the Susan B. Anthony list. Jill, thanks for being with us on this very busy pro-life week.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Can you briefly share with us what you witnessed as a nurse?
I was a nurse in 1999 at Christ Hospital in Oak Lawn, Illinois, when I discovered the hospital was not only involved in late-term abortions, but sometimes babies survived. And if they survived, they were shelved to die in the soiled utility room. So one night a nursing coworker was taking a little abortion survivor, aborted at 21 weeks with Down syndrome, that's why he'd been aborted, to the soiled utility room to die, and I couldn't let him die alone, so I rocked him for the 45 minutes that he lived.
And that changed the course of your life.
It did. In the course of 45 minutes, it made me a pro-life activist for sure.
And it was back in 2002, so 16 years ago, that President George W. Bush invited you to be with him when he signed the Born Alive Infants Protection Act. So how is the House bill different than that? What's the update?
Well, the Born Alive Infants Protection Act was just a definitions bill, defined what it means to be a legal person when born, and it says that you should be protected, but it didn't do anything more than that. So the Born Alive Abortion Survivors Act adds teeth to the Born Alive Act. And it says that abortionists and staff can be prosecuted, they might even be imprisoned and fined, and that moms can have civil opportunities to file civil lawsuits.
How many babies are born alive after an abortion attempt? What do we know about this?
Well, of course, the most obvious case is Kermit Gosnell in 2013 was convicted of murdering 3 babies after they were aborted alive, but his staff said there were many more. But there are other instances. For instance, 2005, a woman at an Orlando abortion clinic aborted her baby alive in a toilet and even called 911, and the clinic staff turned away the 911 personnel at the door. Baby lived for 11 minutes. Another case where an aborted baby in Hialeah, Florida, was zipped alive into a biohazard bag by the owner of the clinic. In Canada, we know of 500 documented cases between 2000 and 2009. So it is going on around us. There's definitely a need for this law.
This week, we are encouraging senators to take up the Pain-Capable Unborn Child Protection Act, which would ban abortions at 20 weeks. This, as the House will vote on the Born Alive bill. What's the strategy in pairing these two pro-life bills together?
Well, these are definitely companion bills. You know, the one bill bans abortions at 20 weeks. The other bill says that babies who survive abortions should be saved. And we're saying that we should combine these two and say that infants aborted alive should be protected, but then they also shouldn't be aborted in the first place. Right. So most babies who are aborted alive are about 5 months old or older, and the Pain Capable Act would protect them.
And this is all, of course, happening the week of the March for Life. Why is that so significant?
Well, the March for Life, of course, signifies the dastardly Roe v. Wade decision in 1973, and so ever since then we've been trying to take back turf. And this is an instance when most Americans agree with us that late-term abortions are wrong, and polls show more women think that it's wrong than even men. So this is definitely an issue late-term abortion survivors and pain capable of being able to speak to the whole country and get the country on our side on this.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing your witness. I know that was a horrific experience, but your pro-life work has borne a lot of fruit. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Jill Stanek with the Susan B. Anthony List.
And speaker on. Let's go up to chat, see what's going on. Hello, chat. What do we got? Monkey Mom. Margaret Singer. A lot of people don't know that, Monkey Mom. You're a wise woman who is part of the Democratic KKK club, started abortion to end the rate of African Americans. I think that's a fair statement. You know, someone could argue against it, but I think it's a fair statement. I think there was a strategic value there. Oh, we got 8 minutes left. 8 minutes. there was a strategic value to in genocide, a variety of goals here. If you really value life, people, if you're watching the show, whether you're watching tonight or watching the replay, look into it, research it. The life that is life. It's life in the womb, instantly. And I have a video. I was thinking that during the replay. Hey, Judy, thanks for logging on. No idea what LP means, but rate of African American. Monkey Mom, I don't want to lose my thought. I'm a gun gal, and know that, but it is the point we lost morals. Well, I don't know when, I don't know when we lost morals, but it becomes a moral issue. Well, it's legal to have abortions. Okay, it's legal, but it's not moral. It was legal to have slaves. It was okay to incarcerate the Jews, and they gave them food and clothing, but it was immoral. It might be legal, doesn't mean it's immoral. Doesn't mean it's moral. Never did I have a school shooting in my time. Nor did I. I had a truck and I had a gun in the back rack. Guys would have loaded guns in the back truck. Yep, different days back then. And now they freak out over knives. Now people freak out over knives at school, and this is a new now. People think putting up metal detector, I don't want to drift into the gun stuff, but the answer is not, because the person monitoring the metal detector, they could just shoot them. Other than policing guns that are coming through in the bags. We got 6 minutes here. I don't have am I a speaker? Okay, good. I don't have Monkey Mom. Hitler even wrote her and praised her for it. Hitler even wrote. Oh, I did not know that. I did not know that, talking about Margaret Sanger. Let me go, just for the practice, go to full screen. I got my speaker on. I'm full screen. I move this way to be center. Just for practice, pushing these buttons. It is a lot of moving parts, and I'm trying to get better. And my goal is to edit these, is to talk about other videos, or talk about the other video YouTube artiste. What was I thinking? Oh, life begins at conception. I have a video I posted on Christmas Day. Okay, on Christmas Day, if you go back to my archives, when was Jesus born? I think what it is. And I'll tell you the long story short. Jesus was born on 29 September. He was conceived on 25 December. Life, the word became flesh on the 25th of December. I think that's really why that pagan holiday is still around. It was a pagan holiday because of that. He was conceived on 25th, born on 29th. If you go look at it, get your Bible. In fact, I got a copyright strike because I use an animation instead of watching me talk. The animation with no sound. The algorithm picked up this cartoon that was 7 years old. I thought that was odd. It's too late to change it. I mean, I can go back. It's not worth it. The point being, get your Bible. You have to understand the course of Abaya. You've got to understand the course of Abaya. And you can pinpoint the days, and, John the Baptist's father, Zechariah, when he was working at the temple, burned incense, not the kind we burn today, but, and you can arguably put a case together that life starts at conception. Jesus was conceived on 25 December. Doesn't matter when he's born. When you're born, don't matter. In Asia, I've spent a couple years in Asia. They believe that when you're born, you're 1 year old, for example. So your your first birthday. Oh, he's 2 or she's 2. You start getting 50, and you want to. Well, I'm 49 years old, because I don't know if it's still that way or not. Got 3.5 minutes. Let me go to a split screen and see what you guys have to say while we're closing out. Miss Sonia says I closed out too fast the last couple times. So I'm not going to show another video. I'm showing 3 minutes here, 56, 3.5 minutes, so we can discuss open forum Bible study where you guys can ask questions, make comments, etc. All right. So who's in the chat? Who would like to say something? Anyone? I appreciate all you joining. appreciate all of you coming here. On the replay, I got to change my thumbnail, don't I? It's a repeat thumbnail. On the replay, y'all come and watch and make a comment to this. And I know this is a sensitive subject. I know it is. And we're talking the birth and we're talking the pregnancy, and it's hard. It's hard for everybody. It's not easy for the man either. The man's got to go through this. It's got to register, and that's on his mind forever and ever. Some comments, people, because I'm seeing live screen. You guys bail on me. I didn't show a video. We're just talking this out until the end. Interactive live Bible study where you make comments and you can discuss within each other, or you can ask me something. And then we're gonna 58. Couple more minutes here. I'll say Walmart because I don't like Walmart, but see if I can get this. This is from Don. You remember this? Couple of rednecks, guy goes in and is a cashier at Walmart, and the guy says, "Hey, I'll tell you, want to figure a riddle? I can tell you a riddle you can't figure out." The guy, "We'll go for it. Tell me." So my mom had a kid. It wasn't my brother, and it wasn't my sister. Who was it? And the guy can't figure it out. It was me. And I didn't think of that. So the guy goes out, and he's down at the auto store, and he's told somebody, "Hey, you want a riddle? Let me tell you a riddle." "Yeah, go ahead." So, well, my mom had a kid. It wasn't my brother, and it wasn't my sister. Who was it? And the guy, I don't know who it was. And the guy says, it was the cashier at the Walmart. You get it? No one's laughing. Hand of Seeds, where you been, buddy? I'm sitting here. I got 1 minute left. 1 minute. We're going to close this bad boy out, Miss Sonia. If you want to say goodbye, love you guys. Love you. Totally love you. Thank you for joining. Next Monday, I'm quite sure it's going to be entertaining. My technology, I get ready to send this out on my egress screen and let you guys chat on for a little bit. Hand of Seed, then there are more time for interactions. I think videos should be uploaded separate than live studies, just my 2 cents. Should be uploaded. I don't know. But I mean, I'm open-minded, guys. If you know a better way, we need, I'm trying to build my audience. What I got, 21, I got 2,120 some subs. I'm honored. I'm trying to get more. So I'm trying to up my game and link with the algorithm and get more exposure to YouTube. Now more than ever, we need to share the word of God. Now more than ever, we need to tell people about Team Jesus. And in order to do that, got to like and share the videos. Sonia, Team Jesus, see you next weekend, everyone. Oh yeah, Sonia's got a show Sonia's got a show, and okay, we're supposed to stop that. That didn't just go smooth. That's telling me to leave. Monkey Mom's got you go to her website, her YouTube channel as well. And Ginger, thank you, Cole. Next week, in Rapture Believing, I was in Rapture Believing group. That's hoping what the subject's going to be next week in a debate for program. Keep leaving some